Hey, social media, what's up? So, been thinking. I definitely, when I decided to come back to social media to talk about or to share some of the things or knowing that I have as an empath and as a seer, things that could benefit pretty much everyone. These things are really to benefit specific groups. There is a group of 100, they call it 144 or 144. It represents 144,000 individuals. Um, that's not the only group. And I wanted to give messages to two specific groups, that group of 144,000, as well as the second group, which is 180,000, totaling 300, and it really represents 324,000 individuals throughout the world. And I planned on using my voice to really connect to those individuals for the benefit of 9 million within the world. This year, 2025, the planet is having close to 20 million people on it. However, that is a lie. And also, according to the divine creator and the courts of heaven's records, there are only supposed to be 9 million human beings on this planet during this life path 9. And I wanted to talk about those things, but I realized that the things that have happened in my life that led to my ascension this year has been one of I am one of many who have been hexed and cursed for the suppression of this group that represents the 9 million within the planet. And specific things were done to me that affected everyone. And some of these things that were done to me are also being done to other individuals worldwide. Many individuals have experienced lifetimes of unexplained bad luck or unexplained addictions, existing within families where specific types of things have always consistently happened. For instance, some families throughout multiple generations, you might have individuals who are disabled or deaf or mute, or throughout multiple generations, there's always something unpleasant like cancer or a specific genetic mutation that is specific to their family, or violence, where you've experienced, let's say, domestic violence, and your parents before you experienced domestic violence, your parents before their parents before them experienced domestic violence, and it's just a pattern that consistently happened generation after generation. Another common one is alcoholism, and you have experienced alcoholism, or individuals in your bloodline have consistently had issues with it through generation after generation after generation. I'd say in the last few generations, there's also been things relating to this that also affects something, or there's a similar thing or addiction that's similar to that. Another drug, fentanyl, or white powder, let's call it that. There is there's a pattern there that has to do with specific spirits, specific forms of hexing, specific forms of spiritual suppression. These things go way back to biblical times, and some forms of it go back to times when gods and pharaohs were here, and those things go back to Egypt, to Jordan, to Palestine. And I'm not talking about just the location, I'm talking about the bloodlines, the physical bloodlines, as well as the spiritual bloodlines of individuals in those areas. Some also go back to Italy, Greece, and spiritual and physical bloodlines in those areas. Some also go back to Scotland, and physical and spiritual bloodlines there, as well as across all Asian continents. I'm talking about spell work that goes back to those specific areas. These things also affect all natives, all native bloodlines, all native ancestors. This is also inclusive to Native Americans. I'm not just talking about Native Americans as in Indians, but I'm talking about native bloodlines. And I am going to talk about the things that have happened to me because I want to move on from it, and I feel like we all can move on from the things that have happened to us. That does not mean that these crimes done to us get disregarded. That doesn't mean that we suddenly have selective memory about the things that have happened to us, and it doesn't mean that the individuals that have committed these crimes against us get to slide. I'm not about that. The crimes that were done to me in this lifetime, I'm about to be 43, but for 42 and a half years, I had spell work being performed on me on a daily basis. And over the last 14 years specifically, it got ramped up and individuals got help. Help of cults and covens and 1,000 individuals that are public figures and celebrities and musicians, like any and everything you could think of, individuals in the spotlight, to assist them in these spell work. And the activities got ramped up, and it went from things being performed on me daily to spells being performed on me 3 to 5 times a day. And that woke up a lot of things. It assisted in waking me up, but it also woke up some ancient nasty things. I'm talking about spirits that were designed to guard pharaohs, and they are now looking to unalive. And creatures, mystical creatures that sound like things from story books to torment children, but they are extremely real, and they are designed to unalive and siphon. And these things were being placed upon 324,000 individuals that are currently alive, and they've been affecting these individuals for lifetimes, not just generations. I'm talking about billions of years. And there are specific groups that have always been aware and didn't talk about it because they were doing it. They were the ones doing it, baby. And they were the ones that were benefiting from it. Now I'm talking about these things not because I am attacking any one government. I want to please pay attention. Even though I am here currently physically in the United States, I am not attacking any one government. And frankly, there are like about 200 governing countries. I'm not talking about any one in particular. I'm talking about individuals, and individuals that happen to work within governing bodies collectively and globally, with the purposes that benefit them individually, not for any one governing party. Even though many are doing it in ways that benefit their governing party, they're doing it for themselves. So I realized that even though I want to talk about things like what I see in the stars and the asteroid that's coming, I realized that I need to address the elephant in the room, which is my own damn daily life and the crimes that have been done onto me. I am going to talk about it, not because I want to advertise it. How do you know what you don't know? You don't. And that's why I'm sharing these things about myself, or why I plan on sharing things about myself. I am prayer-filled that discussing it will help someone, at least one. I know it's gonna bless many, but I'm hoping that me talking about the things that have happened to me will trigger individuals recognizing patterns of things that have happened to them, so that you can then figure out what it is you need to change for yourself. A lot of the hexing and cursing that most individuals experience happens because of their family, and individuals wanting, or family and friends wanting them to physically stay near. By physical proximity, they are able to remotely maintain connections in the spirit realm, as well as in your mind. Your physical proximity to them, they don't want that. They don't want to cut ties. And I bring it up because if you have had situations in your life where you've wanted to get people out, you've wanted to cut people off, whether that is a family member or a friend, and you feel funny about it, I'm here to tell you, cut it off. Cut it off. Cut it off as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if that relative is your mother, your father, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your brother, your sister, your second cousin, your fifth cousin, your best friend. I am going to talk about how the individuals like that have done and plotted and planned some nasty crimes against me. And I never wanted to believe that my parents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my neighbors, my best friends, my coworkers, my employer would all plan to unalive me so that they could get wealthy. Strangers. This is the shadiest shit I ever did see. And I had never heard of anything as obscene as my existence. So I am going to talk about it, because the saying goes, you see something, you say something. And what I see is within my own life of doo-doo. And I'm going to talk about the doo-doo, whether anyone likes it or not. I'm doing it because I'm moving on. But not acknowledging it, it doesn't work.